Hi, I'm Jade, and I'm obviously authentically late. So thank you guys for your patience. And Mike, you did a wonderful job. I really needed you to get everyone to cry before I came on. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Lately, we've been hearing a lot about authenticity. It's a bit of a buzzword. And when we hear about authenticity, we wonder, what brings us here? Why do we want to truly become authentic? And I want all of you to know that authenticity isn't a destination. It's a journey. And there are going to be times when we will stumble, or maybe we will venture down the wrong path. But we will keep going, we will pick ourselves back up again, and we will continue to push on. So we may ask ourselves, what does it mean to be truly authentic? And I think we'd get a different answer from every single one of us in this room. And I can't speak on what being authentic means to you. But for me, being authentic means living up to my true character. It means putting focus on my true values and visions. It means being able to accept my strengths and my weaknesses. I'm okay with looking in the mirror and realizing that I'm good enough as I am, but I could still work on some shit too. As a tech, I'm gonna have to put an IOU in the curse jar, or you can just put that on Dave Nichols' tab. Where's he at? Where's he at? Oh, right there, that's my man, okay. So all jokes aside, why does authenticity matter? Why are we on this journey to become authentic? Well, none of us want to live our lives feeling that we didn't reach our full potential. And none of us want to live our lives feeling like we weren't able to be ourselves. For a really long time, I lived my life trying to please others. And I still do at times, it happens. I had this concept of the American dream, and while I was trying to chase that, I stayed in a failed marriage, and I stayed at jobs that I hated going to. And I was frustrated because I wasn't supposed to think the things that I was thinking, and I wasn't supposed to feel the things that I was feeling. And I was angry because I had completely lost myself. So I basically pushed that anger outward. Early in my career as a technician, I was a pretty nasty person. I enjoyed participating in gossip. I tore other people down. I was just miserable in general. I made new technicians cry. I was that chick. And there was no sudden epiphany or realization that what I'd been doing was wrong. I just got tired. I got tired of investing all that energy, and I got tired of working so hard to be so damn miserable. So I had to sit down and think, how am I gonna come back from this? How am I gonna dig myself out of this hole? And for me, that meant realizing that I had been wearing a mask by putting off that I was always angry and always being on the offense. I hadn't allowed myself to be vulnerable, and I sure as hell hadn't allowed myself to be strong. I was pushing others away. And now that I knew that I had been completely faking it, I had to sit down and think, well, who do I want to become? Who do I really want to be? And for me, I decided that I wanted to be the teacher that I never had. I wanted to be someone that supported others and encouraged them. I wanted to be the person that made other people smile when I walked in the room instead of sucking up all the oxygen. So I started to use my voice, and it was shaky, and it was humbling because I hadn't used it in so long, but I kept talking. and I kept saying my truth and what I believed in. And I started to notice that I found my tribe. In 2014, I started a Facebook group called Veterinary Support Staff Unleashed. This group was meant to be a forum where support staff could come together and they could discuss their struggles, they could discuss their victories, and they could ask questions that maybe other people thought were stupid, but we were allowed to do that and we were allowed to be genuine. And I started to notice that these people were making connections with each other and they were forming these friendships. And I realized there was such a need for that in the veterinary community. So I kept talking. This group literally started with like a handful of my friends that I knew from various clinics I'd worked at over the years. It is now at over 13,200 members. Thank you. And that's just because I kept running my mouth, basically. And then I met Andy, and I met the crew over at drandyrourke.com, and I found out about Uncharted, and I got to know some of you guys, and I realized that there is a world of people out there that want to do good things and want to put good out into the world. And more importantly, I realized this is right where I was meant to be. I was meant to be working alongside these people, putting good out in the world and speaking my truth. A lot of times when you're honest and you say what you need to say, people they're not gonna get it. You might be too much for some, you're a little too shiny, you cuss too much, Dave. Or maybe, he's like, why is this girl all on me? But maybe you're just too much, or you're not enough. Maybe you're not smart enough, maybe you're not polished enough, maybe you're not the expert in your field. But I want you to know that those aren't your people, but they will remind you to keep pushing forward and speak louder and speak your truth. So when you guys look in the mirror, I don't want you to see your flaws or your imperfections. I want you to see the strong person that's standing in front of you and realize that it's okay to be weak at times. And if you take a second and you take a step back, you'll realize that there's a crowd of people in the background cheering you on. These are your friends, your family, your colleagues and coworkers. These are the people that are gonna call you out when you're making a mistake, and they're gonna cheer you on when you do something amazing. These people will help build you to become authentic, and they'll support you in that journey. So before I go to bed at night, I try and ask myself, did I live how I want to be today? Was I who I want to be? Was I kind to someone today? Did I support someone today? Did I encourage someone today? And did I forgive myself for my mistakes today? More importantly, did I give myself credit for the things I did right today? And I think a lot of you ask yourselves these very same questions. And these questions push us forward to become authentic. These questions put us here today at Uncharted. And I want to challenge you all to keep speaking your truth and keep saying what you have to say, because there are people out there that need to hear it. So thank you all for being a part of my journey. I appreciate that. And I'm so excited to get to know you all. And I hope I can encourage you on your journey as well. Thanks, guys.